Hello, Year 9. I hope you had a nice weekend. I enjoyed looking at the plans that you sent in to me. I had some really interesting ones to look at. Some of you have put some brilliant information down, lots and lots of detail about facts that you found. Those of you who haven't got very far with your plan yet, you will need to pick up the pace a little bit this week to make sure you have time to get the writing done. You've got 3 lessons this week to write your first draft of your speech. So what you hand in on Monday, I will mark and get back to you really quickly by what you hand in by Wednesday, I will mark and get it to you back to you for Monday, so that you can do a second, better, perfect draft of your speech the week after. So you've got 3 lessons this week to write your answer. So in today's PowerPoint, I'm just going to go through ideas for how to write the presentation. And you can just keep going back to this video to remind yourselves, pausing it, and I will say roughly where I think you should have got to by the end of each lesson. Okay, so obviously today you're going to be doing a bit of listening, so that's some of your time gone. So some of you have already got to the point where you've chosen your topic and you have filled this sort of sheet in, where you have chosen your 3 clear points and you are ready to go with your writing. You've got an anecdote, some statistics, an expert's view, and some words, some vocabulary already prepared. So super well done. Even if you have done all of those things, you might find that when you come to write it, one of the main points, for example, might suddenly turn into quite a big point, and you might think, oh, actually, I'm not going to have time to do this one and this one, and that's absolutely fine. If you want to deviate from your plan, change what you have planned, add to your plan, that's absolutely fine as you go on, but don't feel like you have to include everything that's been on your plan if you feel like you're going to be talking for too long. Okay, so what we're going to be doing first of all today is you're going to be writing an introduction for your speech. So if you haven't finished your planning, get that done first and then come back to the video. If you are ready to start writing your introduction, just watch this bit from here then. So when you write an introduction for your speech, the thing you're really thinking about is you need to create this positive impact straight away. It needs to be really punchy. You need to grab attention. You need to enthuse the people who are listening to you, make them really want to listen. So you need to know how to do that. And there's various different ways. So we want all of you to choose one of these ways, and you need to start by hooking the audience in with one of these techniques. So you could use a question. How many of you here today have ever thought, I don't know, how many of you here today have ever wondered about blah, 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 whatever it is your topic is, or how many of you here today have ever been irritated by blah, 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 whatever your topic is? That's a good one. You need a question mark, obviously, at the end of it. You could start with a quotation. Martin Luther King once said, and it has to be obviously related to what you're about to talk about, but that can be a really interesting way to start. A statistic. Last year alone, smoking led to 96,000 deaths in the UK. And then you pause and you wait for people to take it in. A current event. Many of you will have seen in the recent news that, and if it's relevant to what you are writing about, then you can talk about something that's happened in the news recently, very briefly. This is just a hook. You could start with a statement. You'll be aware of the key issue facing us with, tell us what you're talking about. You could start with a personal story, so you could start with your anecdote. A few weeks ago, this happened, and then go into a little bit more detail about what's happened a few weeks ago that has bothered you. Could be an anecdote. You could begin by painting a picture. Imagine this. A young girl on her own in the middle of a town, that kind of thing, and you just paint the picture of whatever's wrong with the world. Okay? Or you could use a visual aid. Let me begin by showing you a picture. Okay? So you need to think about what is the best way for your subject to hook in the audience. So what I would like you to do first, if you are ready to write, is I'd like you to pause the video now and choose 2 of these. write 2 possible openings for your speech, and then ask someone at home which they think is the most effective. Okay, which one makes them want to feel captivated by what you're about to say. So pause the video, choose either question, quotation, statistic, current event, statement, personal story, anecdote, paint a picture, visualize, choose 2 of those, write the opening sentence or a couple of sentences to your speech, and then decide which one you think is best. Okay, so once you've grabbed the attention of your audience, you now need to clarify the purpose of your speech. So this is still part of your introduction. The hook is the first sentence in your persuasive speech, and you've just written 2 examples of those. And then we're going to do a preview bit. This is the bit you're going to write now. This briefly gives an overview of the main points that will be argued in your speech. The preview is not where the arguments are developed. This is very surface level. The preview merely summarises each point in a few words as possible. So, for example, last year alone, smoking led to 96,000 deaths in the UK. This is a shocking statistic for a country that claims to be dealing with the problem of such an addictive habit. But whilst advertising might have been removed, smoking still causes horrific illnesses, costing the NHS millions of pounds and impacting on the lives of innocent people who can't escape the noxious fumes. Then the statement and ethos, a clearly worded statement telling your audience what your overall message is. As a young person who has seen firsthand the devastating effects of smoking on families, I believe that smoking should be eliminated from our society altogether. Government should act now to save lives and save the NHS from the unnecessary pressure that smoking causes. So, to clarify the purpose of your speech, this is all your introduction. You have your hook, your 1 sentence that you've already prepared, the preview, a brief overview of the main points that you're going to discuss, and then your statement and your ethos, a clearly worded statement that tells your audience what your message is and the purpose of the speech. Why are you writing it? You are writing it because the government should act now and smoking should be eliminated from society altogether. So, short statement, say what you're going to be talking about, and explain what the purpose is and what you want to happen. Okay, the 3 things. So you need to pause the video now and have a go at finishing your introduction to your speech. Okay, so now you need to write the main body of your speech. You've already prepared 3 main logos points, 3 main arguments that you want to talk about. And so you're going to be creating 3 or 4 main paragraphs. Each paragraph will begin with a topic sentence, so it's really clear what the paragraph is going to be about. You will use at least 2 rhetorical or persuasive devices. So you can use any of the De Forest techniques. So you can use anecdotes, rhetorical questions, statistics, triples, experts' views, things like that. And a challenge to some of you is for you to be able to acknowledge the counter arguments. So I think I've said this to a couple of you when I've messaged you. If you've got a full plan already, I have said, think about what an audience might say in opposition to this. So, okay, you might say it's everybody's own choice to be able to smoke if they wish, but what about passive smoking? So you acknowledge the counter argument and then you dismiss it. So how might this look? So you try and write a topic sentence for a point. So here's my topic sentence. Smoking doesn't just affect those who choose to do it. There's a typo there. It affects all of us because of the huge cost of the NHS of dealing with smoking related diseases. So I'm going to talk to you about the cost to the NHS. Okay, it affects everybody because of the huge cost of the NHS. I've got a clear topic for my paragraph. I'm now going to support that sentence with some more details about the cost that it causes to the NHS. Okay, I'm going to use 2 rhetorical or persuasive features. According to the Action on Smoking and Health England group, the NHS spends approximately £2 billion per year dealing with problems associated with smoking. This staggering amount of money, which includes hospital admissions, GP consultations and prescriptions as well as any operations or treatment needed for smoking-related diseases, could be available for non-preventable diseases if only people would stop being so selfish. Imagine how it must feel having to wait and wait for essential treatment just because so many smokers were taking up essential resources. Smokers can prevent their illnesses. Many other innocent people can't. Okay, so I've got here, my topic is NHS, and here's my information using statistics, emotive language, short sentences, smokers can prevent their illnesses, and to make my point really clear. Okay, so topic sentence, here's my argument developed. You need to do that 3 times. Okay. This is an overall planning sheet that's been attached. Some of you have looked at it already. It tells you, gives you some sentence stems and how things might develop. So you can use this sheet as well if you want to as you're writing your speech. And the final thing you'll need to do is write a conclusion for your presentation. So the ending of your presentation, you need to think about what you want the audience to be thinking, how they should be feeling, and what actions you want them to have in their minds. What effect do you hope to have created by the end of it? The ending should be brief and bold with a strong summary of the facts and ideas that you have laid before the audience. You again go back to the beginning of your speech and clarify the purpose of your speech. So was it there to change something? Did you want people to make a difference, or did you want to inform people about something? Make it clear that you've achieved your purpose because you get higher marks for that. Call the audience to action if appropriate. So we need to make a stand now. You need to go and you need to petition the government about this. We need to. Use clear, definite language. Will, believe, is, do, sure, when, make. Really, really clear what you want to achieve and what you hope that people will do about it. Okay? So here's some ideas to close. These are like sentence stems you can use, cause and effect. Unless we do something now, then the future looks bleak for blah, 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 blah. Make the decision today. Make the decision to make a change. We can all do this together. Stand up for our health. Stand up for your children's future. Appeal to character. If you believe in equality, then you have to be part of this change too. Appeal to emotion. This cruel, degrading practice must stop, and then a bit more detail. An appeal to people power. Together, we can make a difference. All of those are really good final sentence starters to help you have an impactful ending. So here's an example. Unless we make our views known about smoking, then this disgusting, damaging and costly habit will continue to ruin lives, the lives of those who smoke and the lives of those who live with them. As a result of smoking, people die in agony, their loved ones suffer far beyond their deaths, and vital NHS resources are spent unnecessarily. So it's time to stand up to the powerful and manipulative tobacco companies and stand up to the retailers who just want to make money out of cigarettes. If we all refuse to accept smoking in our communities, then perhaps someone's life we know can be saved. Thank you. Okay, so as you can see, we've got in green, they're the 3 points I would have used in my arguments. Okay, that was my logos that I have used as sentence stems. I've summarised them. I've got emotive language, disgusting, damaging, powerful, manipulative. You need to pack your conclusion full of emotive language to create the pathos. And I've used personal pronouns we to make everybody feel part of this, part of the change that can come. Okay, so using the word we is a really good way of doing that. Okay, so there's the ideas to close again for you to look back on, and then you need to have a go at writing that yourself, and that will be the end of your first draft. So all of that work should have taken you up to the end of Wednesday's lesson. So best of luck. Watch it again as you are doing your little bits. I imagine you'll get your introduction and possibly a bit of your first main paragraph done on Monday, a couple of main paragraphs done on Tuesday, and on Wednesday, finishing touches to your main paragraphs and your conclusion. Okay, best of luck then. I look forward to reading them.